My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of White Noise. And no, I'm not talking about the 2005 Michael Keaton horror movie that started a franchise that nobody has ever heard about. I'm talking about the brand new Netflix Noah Baumbach movie. And Noah Baumbach is a very fascinating director. I loved Marriage Story and The Squid and the Whale. I thought While We Were Young was really strong for the first two acts, but the last act just fell apart. I didn't really care for Francis Ha or the Meyerowitz stories, and I haven't seen the rest of his movies. So, based on what I've seen, he's very hit or miss. And this is easily his worst movie I've seen. I despised this movie. I thought it was just a giant waste of time. And it's truly baffling that Netflix wasted so much money on it. Just like Bardo, nobody who's an average film watcher is going to scroll through Netflix, click on this movie, and like it. It's just not going to happen. This movie has zero appeal to a mainstream audience. And let's just get into it. First with the cast, and the movie stars Adam Driver, who I love as an actor. There's no one else like him. He has a very unique voice, a unique look, and he's a great talented actor. So I'm a fan of him generally, but this isn't one of his best performances. He's not bad, but he's not good either. You've got Greta Gerwig, who I didn't think was all that good here. You've got Don Cheadle, who was fine, and then you've also got Rafi Cassidy, who's not in the movie a lot, but I thought she did a fine job. I'm a big fan of her as an actress. One of my favorite movies of the past decade was Vox Lux. It's not for everyone, but I loved it, and I thought she was great in it, so I'm rooting for a successful career for her, and yeah, let's just get into the rest of this movie because this movie is just a whole lot of nothing. You think it might be going into some interesting places, and then it just never does. And this movie is 2 hours and 16 minutes long, and there is no justification for that length. I felt it, and it could have easily been like an hour shorter. And on top of that, the first act is inaccessible as movies get. The way that the characters are talking to each other is just so pretentious and over the top that I never cared for them. There's this long scene of Adam Driver talking about Hitler and Don Cheadle talking about Elvis, and Noah Baumbach just had his head so far up his ass while writing that scene. I just could not care less about the foundation of this movie. And then shit hits the fan, and I'm like, okay, my interest is peaking a little bit. Let's see where they go with this. Let's see what they do. And it just goes nowhere. It's just wasted potential. And I'm just oh, okay. Well, the movie had me for just a little bit of time, and now they lost me already. They had a great opportunity to just explore our mentality and our feel regarding it. And they bring it up in a few different moments, but they don't dive into it nearly enough. And you had this plot that would have allowed it to be ingrained in the story and characters and just the situation. And it doesn't get approached in that way. And then the last act of this movie is just utter nonsense. It goes in a really stupid direction that doesn't feel properly built up to, and it's just a mess of a movie. It just feels like three wildly different movies with very little connective tissue, and I found it to be so pretentious. I never cared for any of the characters. It's way too long, it's way too slow, and it's just a movie that as soon as I press stop record, I'm never going to talk about again. It is, well, that's not true. I'll probably do a Noah Baumbach ranking in the future, but yeah, I just don't think there's anything about this movie that allows it to stand out, that's memorable, that's good. It's just a very nothing movie, and I just wanted it to end the entire time. And once again, it's completely baffling that Netflix spent money on this movie and released it, and just nobody's going to watch it. It's just Noah Baumbach was trying as hard as he could to make this movie as inaccessible as possible, and there's a very small niche of people who are going to like this movie and defend it, but the vast majority are just going to be like, yeah, that's pretentious, boring nonsense, and I never want to watch it again. I got the feeling lots of people would just turn this movie off. Anyways, I've said my piece, hated it. I'm going to go ahead and give White Noise a 1 out of 10. I already filmed and edited my list for the worst movies of 2022, and this movie would have came so close to making the list, but not quite. It's very close, but it's not a movie I'm ever going to watch again. But have you seen White Noise? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin